Welcome back for another unboxing video for a prototype hitting crowdfunding really soon. This is a game for 1 to 5 players that takes around 60 to 90 minutes, ages 6 and up, and it's a game that it's very accessible with a ton of replayability and an interesting gameplay. In terms of universe and theme, this is a cooperative, family-friendly fantasy board game for 1 to 5 players that has a lot of exploration in a vast land filled with treasures, powerful weapons and dangerous monsters. Level up your hero, master magic and cooperate with your party of heroes to complete daring quests and earn epic rewards. Players take their turns alternating with the monsters, and the heroes use their 4 actions per turn to add land tiles to the map by exploring, drawing loot from loot bags or fighting with monsters. Monster fights are using attack and defense dice, which get stronger with better weapons. This game is a game that it's very fun to play, and it's a game that focuses around reward and the dopamine fireworks that you get by constantly getting loot. Don't get it wrong, still is a challenge, and there is an interesting challenge to get it to win the game cooperatively, and there's a lot of variety with different bosses because you choose only 2 out of the pool each time you're playing the game. But this is a game where constantly players are rewarded with new things that they can loot, they can cover, they can explore, they can get, but they still have to fulfill their goal by fulfilling the quest of the respective bosses in order to win. Now, let's dive into the components of the game. This is a prototype unboxing. This is a very good looking and close to completion, as you'll see. A prototype I have already picked into the box, but we'll open everything together now. I'm going to ask you to follow the rules of how you play in a separate video. I'm going to release a separate how to play review video where I'm going to both share my opinion after a couple of sessions with the game, but also explain in detail how the game plays. In this video here, we're just going to focus on the components of this very beautifully crafted prototype, and in all cases just make sure to check in the description of the video to follow the campaign and find out more about the game. Now, Lord of Loot from PKB Games. This is how the back of the box looks like. A fantasy world, a cooperatively fantasy game with varied quests, fantastic components and great miniatures. So let's dive into the contents. First of all, the box itself. Besides the gorgeous art, which can be a matter of personal taste, but you have to admit it looks really stunning. The box itself, it's from linen finish material, matte print. Looks really nice. I really like how it looks and how it utilizes the whole surface for art. That being said, let's go into the rulebook. This is a language independent game, so you can find the rulebook to be bilingual, which is half of it is German, half of it is English. And this is the introduction and the background of the game. We have the game setup. It's very simple to set it up and start playing. We have the explanation of the gameplay. Essentially, the game play evolves around having for each player, which is active, the hero phase followed by the master phase, and then we go to the next player to do the same. I'm going to not touch the rules now, but just to mention, in the hero phase each player has 4 action points to spend to do the different actions, and you can do the same action more than once. You can move to an adjacent space, you can explore a space, you can exploit a space, you can collect items from your field, your space, and you can also trade items or weapons with other players on the same space like you, and also you can fight a monster or a boss. Okay. There is also the master phase, which is followed for each active player after its respective hero phase, where you draw cards and monsters perform their routine, which could be monster or bosses moving and attacking, double movement and attack, dropping items and then attacking, and so on, okay, or respawning. There are 3 different types of monsters. We have the green hordes, which is goblins, orcs and trolls, the purple, which are magic creatures, ghosts, vampires and witch kings, and the beige, which are undead creatures, skeletons, zombies and necromants. Interesting concepts about the management of your backpack. Actually, you can only fit in your recessed player board, you'll see it in a second, the amount of components you wish to carry with you, so you need to physically fit them in, so it's a really cool idea. Also different special abilities for the characters. And the most important thing, the fights, which are done with dice and are very straightforward and simple but interesting. The important thing that I want to mention before going into the exploration of the components is that for each game you choose 2 bosses, and look how many bosses you have. You have the Pet Napper, you have Narcia, you have Stumpelstick, the Grouchwood Guardian, and also an indication about the difficulty, by the way. You have Dracorax, you have Gilliam the Freed Finn, you have Volcanus the Brooding, and you have also Orifalcon the Gilded Tyrant. You choose 2 of those, and each of those comes with their own pieces, small bits and pieces as you can see, and also quests. Important aspect is that you need to complete all quests before you're able to attack the boss. Okay, so essentially I'll give you a bit of overview of the game, but let's move now into the components, because I'm really excited with the components of this prototype, to the degree that I'm happy to see it leaving my table, because I'll have to pass it to another reviewer or the publisher afterwards, meaning that I'm really looking forward to play this game a lot, both with my gaming group but also with my kids. It's a fantastic game. At least it looks fantastic from the rulebook. I read already the rules and I really enjoyed what I read, but I'm going to also play it several times before I give you my personal unbiased opinion. Now, the board is linen finish. By the way, I didn't show you up close. I like the fact that there is a matte print, nice thickness. Okay, stays flat on the table, which is not given nowadays. And most importantly, it's really beautifully illustrated. The details, the pathways, the forest, the thick forest, the castle from where the heroes start, everything looks nice. And there's also spots for the different locations to be explored. You can move, in this game you can move across different spots even if they're not explored and go somewhere else, but you can spend an action point to explore them and hopefully in some cases interact with an action to gain rewards, loot, etc. Right. A series of punch boards. Again, thick punch board, all are linen finish as you can see. I'm going to unpunch them in a sec, because I want to show you first of all the rest of the components. The game comes with a plastic insert to fit everything in its place, so everything will stay there. I will advise, if this is the final format of the game, I'm going to do an unboxing after I get the final game at the end. But if this is the final state of the game, which most probably looks like a final state of the game, I would advise not to throw away the punch boards and put them at the bottom of the plastic tray so everything levels up. And you can keep everything, miniatures in their space, etc. Right. I'm really, I should say, impressed with the player boards. They're thick, dual-layer player board, recessed, where you can have slots for spells. For example, she can hold more spells. That's why she draws 2. It's an ability, but the typical backpack looks like that, as you can see. And in here you can fit only as many as you can physically fit in there, components that you carry. You have a weapon, you have a shield, and you can exchange between each time before your monster phase, during your hero phase, as a free action. Here's your stamina, here's your health. Okay, really nice. Great print, great look, looks fascinating. The art is gorgeous. My only maybe wish list, I should say, is that's an ideal space for some background story for the heroes. Maybe some narration and maybe some art. I don't know if this is possible at this stage, but maybe it could be a stretch goal, who knows. I would utilize that for some personal background story. It's a pity not to do so. Right, that being said, let's put the boards there. Another important thing to mention is this game plays all the way up to 5 players. So it also has a solo, but it also plays with 5 players. Not many games can claim that. 4 is the typical number that most of the games stop at in terms of player count. So very happy with the 1 to 5 option here. I'm also going to try it as a solo, by the way. Okay, a buggy with standee bases. Okay, these are for the monsters and the bosses. We have 3 custom bags, really nice, which have a print to indicate what goes there. The black bag is for the weapons, the yellow bag is for the spells, and the red bag is for the items. Very nice. Okay, cool. Next thing I want to show you is the dice. Here we have custom print dice, which are really nice. So we have 4 violet or purple, 4 orange, and 4 blue. Okay, these have different nice print. Looks really nice. These are plastic or composite material. I like the fact that they're not wooden. That's what I'm trying to say. They have nice and good weight in your hand. They feel nice. So swords, attack dice are the orange, defense, which have the shields, and the purple, which are the monster ones. Right. Now the monsters, you'll see that they roll as many dice as their level. More on that later. We also have wooden hearts, which you'll see they are used here. Okay, so you always remove them from left to right. This is for your health here, and when you reach your level 3 you will unlock this extra spot, the 4th position for your health. Okay, and this is your stamina, the orange on the left. So this is health, this is stamina. Okay, so you start somehow like that. At least this character, because you see this character has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots, but 2 of them are locked. Okay, so here goes a bit of the different special abilities and asymmetry of the characters. I'm just showing you one of those now. Great linen finish touch here. Very nice recessed board, as you can see. Looks absolutely stunning. Some plastic baggies included for storing, and then we have our 5 miniatures. First of all, kudos for the insert. You know, it comes in a compact but fully loaded box, and there is a dedicated slot for the minis. Wow! Now look at the heroes. I had a ton of games coming on my table, unboxing ton of games, both prototype but also finished games. I love playing games, have a ton of them. I have to admit, seen a ton of miniatures. These are really nice miniatures. They have nice level of detail, they look different, they have nice pose, and they have nice chunky weight and feel to it. So what I'm trying to say is they look nice across the table. Don't remember the names of the heroes, but you can see clearly that this one is this one. Okay, so you can have a nice match between the art and the plastic miniature. Not always the case. Very nice miniatures. Really nice miniatures. Okay. And also the slots are not generic. They are made so that they can accommodate the different miniatures, meaning that they will be safely stored in there. Wow! I didn't expect that level of miniatures, because this game has a lot of components in there. So really nice. Cool. This is also nice. The knight. Look at the armor, chainmail, the sword. Really nice. Okay, and the last one is this one. Also really nice. Cool. Now you'll notice that we have some cards here. From the cards we have the portrait, the player aid. So each hero has their own player aid, as you can see, and they have a print with the portrait of the hero at the back. I really like him. I'm going to play him first, or here. Here is the reminder, okay, of the 6 options, out of which you choose the 4. Not necessarily the same, you can have more than once the same action for your player, your hero action. Okay, nice. And here are the monsters. So we have red and brown monsters. Okay, you select, you create a specific monster deck using specific amount of red, a brown, and when they're depleted, then you take one from the red, you shuffle it again, and then you reconstruct the monster deck. And you do that every time you finish the monster deck, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I need to refresh my memory on the rules. And anyway, this is going to be part of the how to play video later. We have the brown ones and the red ones. Okay, they look the same from the back because it's one continuous deck of monsters. The icons, when you draw a card during the monster deck, you execute it from top to bottom. Okay, so you can have bosses moving, monsters moving, double movement, attacking, spawning, etc. Okay, so everything is going to be explained later on, but straightforward, card-driven monster phase. And then last thing I want to show you are the punch boards. Again, nice thickness, print, matte print. Okay, so we have, first of all, a variety of locations. So all the circular, we have the monsters and the items, the weapons, the spells, and the circular tokens are the areas where you explore, which we explore. Now these are divided into 2 different types, or 2 major types, I should say, categories. So you have, first of all, the ones which show the recurrent symbol, which means you need, or the symbol, you mean to, I think those you need to spend an action to do what they, spend an action point to do the action. So here, spend an action point to draw an item from the item deck bag. Okay, and look at the detail on the art, the mushrooms, the pond, the market here. Oh, the monument looks nice. Really, really nice art. Nice tents, nice colors. Some castles. Very, very nice. They all look beige from the back. Okay. And as you execute your turn and you take actions, you explore them. So you draw. You will draw tiles and gradually place them on the different locations. Okay, I'm just now placing a few just to make me happy, seeing the beautiful art on the table and so on. You get the idea, right? And then the heroes will be on the different locations moving forward. Okay, right. Cool. So this is the locations. Now here, if you prefer to play with heroes with standees instead of miniatures, you can use these. Okay, so that's a nice addition. If someone prefers to use standees instead of miniatures, they can use these, which are provided. Cool. Typically you get one or the other. Nice to have both options. Not sure if I ever wanted to play with standees if I had the miniatures, but this is a personal obviously taste. Right, now let's see now the items. The items are circular tokens and go into the red bag. You can have consumables, potions, okay, you can spend, you don't spend action to drink, for example, a potion to increase your hit results during a combat, or to gain heart or stamina, okay. Also some spells require specific components that you need to expend them in order to activate the spell, which is always important to use at the correct time. So you see, punch board, really everything comes out of the punch board nicely, okay, and everything looks nice in terms of art. These will go into the red bag, the item bag, the circular ones. The rectangular ones, these are weapons and shields and weapons and armor. So all these, as you can see, they indicate the number of dice you roll, okay, and you will be using them. Also, an important thing is that you can see they could be wooden, silver or gold. If you're level 1, you can only use wooden equipment, weapons and shields. If you're level 2, you can use silver, and if you're level 3, you can use gold, okay. So this is also important because you need to make sure that you level up. So for example, a weapon can slot here, and you can have more than one weapons, which could be better under different conditions, and you can freely change them before you go during your hero phase, but not before, not during the monster phase. Okay, so here is our hero with one battle axe and shield, and there's a variety of them as well. They also go into the bag. Nice. Last but not least, for the yellow bag, we have the spells. The spells, let me show you. They're carried, they are these white tiles, thin and white tiles, that they go into the slot here, okay. Once you acquire them, there's a different amount of slots for each player board. Not everybody has the same amount of slots, okay. And you can spend the green on the left, for this, for example, a wooden plank and bone, to, I suppose this means to draw a weapon, okay. So essentially you construct it. So really, really nice. And again, you can have in your backpack materials, components, equipment that you can also drop as well, and other things, but you need to be mindful because you need to physically be able to fit everything. That means more or less here I can only put one more thing and I'm done. Suppose, unless I can do some more magic or something. But it's nice, it's really nice how this works. I'm very happy with that. Last but not least, we have punch boards with the enemies. So we have bosses. These are really nice standees. Wow. Remember that you only use 2 bosses. This will go on the standee base, okay. Maybe we need slightly larger, or maybe not. Maybe it's enough for the large standees, but maybe this does as well, suppose, okay. So this is the pet napper instead of kidnapper. Beautiful art. The most important thing is that they have different, you can have different combinations, and the quest prerequisites before attacking each of those monsters is different. So wow, a ton of replayability there for sure. Very, very happy to see all these different bosses, okay. Right, then there are specific equipment, for example these tokens here, Each boss has a starting tile to indicate for the pet napper who's a cat. They have this nice basket to indicate where that person or that boss starts from, okay, whatever. And there are specific components, okay. For example, here on the first quest, I think one of those is you need to deliver, you know, the different desired things, or in this case, cat, to the people. Okay, so this match the specific bosses. Okay, so there's a lot of variety there. So, for example, I need to deliver the cat to the cat lady. It's one of the 3 quests that I need to perform to complete before I'm able to attack the pet napper, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, right. So I'm punching the different components, not going to go into more detail, but just wanted to show you the art here. Another thing to mention is the level. So when you level up, you see, that's also a nice thing. When you level up here, you're level 1, so you can only bear wooden weapon. If you're golden, level 3, you can have golden equipment carried by your hero and used. So that's also nice. There you go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Another thing that I like is when you inflict damage on your monster, instead of placing damage tokens next to it, which I hate because you need to carry, you just place these markers here. So once, for example, this is a boss, okay? So if you defeat the bosses, you win also. But if he has 3 and it gets the third one, the third damage marker, which the boss carries the damage markers on them when they move, you see? So this one has 3. If he gets the 4th, it will be eliminated. Really nice concept as well. Okay, these square tokens are layers, starting area for the respective bosses. This is to indicate, I think, the status, if it is dawn, dusk, day or night, during the loop. Okay, this here there's a cloud space here. Here, once one of your heroes reaches 0 health, they are eliminated. You pick up another hero and enter into battle, and you put a gravestone here. If you need to put a second gravestone, then this is one of the way that players lose the game. Okay, pretty much explaining the game on the go as well, so just for you to see how simple the rules are, but how interesting it is. Okay, goblin, nice, really nice art on the monsters. Very unique, very vivid. Here is also the loot that they drop once you defeat them. I think these are imps, if I'm not mistaken. They're more nasty because they can attack from adjacent spaces as well, if I remember correctly. Again, we'll explain the rules. I will explain the rules in detail in the separate how to play review video. So there you have it. These are all the components of Lord of Loot. Make sure to follow the link in the description of the video to get you to the campaign preview, or campaign when it's live, and make sure to also check for the second video of the how to play review, where I'm going to explain the rules, show you how it plays, and share my opinion after I had a couple of sessions with the game. Many thanks for watching.